guys, it's Elena. So today I've got a brand new brush set to show to you, and it's called Christmas Hygge. And if you're not familiar with the word hygge, it's a Scandinavian word. My husband is Danish. I spent many years living in Denmark, and it's a word that means coziness. It's especially associated with winter, candles, lights, decorations. So I wanted to make a brush set that sort of embodied this vibe. I wanted to have a lot of different Christmas baubles, the kind that you would hang on a tree, that come in so many different finishes and colors. And I wanted to use the methodology that I developed for my gemstone brush set so that the stamps of these baubles would actually be solid and shiny instead of transparent, as many brushes on Procreate tend to be. I needed to include a lot of greenery, Christmas trees themselves, and lots of things to put on the trees. So this has turned into a brush set that you can use to make Christmas decorations digitally. And I've been having a lot of fun playing around with it myself. I hope that you will enjoy it as well. So I'm just going to show you first how to install the brushes, as I always do, and then we'll go on to look at each of the different brush types, what you can do with them, and how to use them. So let's go ahead and get started. So once you have downloaded the files to your iPad, then you're going to want to open up your Files app, and it looks like this. And then you want to navigate to iCloud Drive Downloads. And this is where the files that you've downloaded should go. You might also want to check on my iPad if you don't see the files here. So what we're looking for is the Christmas Hygge zip file, and this is it right here. In order to unzip that, all we do is just tap on it, and then it will create a new blue folder here. So then we just tap into that, and here you can see the 4 Procreate files that are included in the brush set. So what we have here is 3 swatches files. We've got these 3 here, which are dot swatch files. That means that they're colors. And we have the dot brush set file. And so this is all of the brushes. So in order to open these in Procreate, we would just tap them, and then they should import into Procreate. You'll see the blue check mark. And then it looks like nothing has happened, but if you go to your brush symbol up here, you can see at the top of the list, we've got Christmas Hygge, which has just been added. And I've already got it here because, I've been working on it already. So I'm just going to delete that. And then to open the swatches, you can also just tap them, and then they will import into Procreate, and you'll see them when you tap on your color up here. And then you'll actually want to scroll all the way down, and that's where you can see the newly imported swatches. And if for any reason that method does not work, just the tapping and opening in Procreate, another option is to select, and we'll just do the brush set. And then once you see a blue check mark on there that's selected, then tap Share, and then open in Procreate. And then the same thing should happen. It should then import into your brushes list. There are 3 color palettes included in this brush set, and the main one that I tend to use a lot with these brushes is called Christmas Hygge, just like the brush set. And this has got your reds and greens, your metallics, and I really like having some elements of purple and blue in Christmas decorations as well. Red and green can get a bit boring, so I have included those as well. And then this bottom row is all metallic colors. And I've included a couple of other swatches here as well. We've got Candy Pastel Christmas and Pinkmas. As I was doing my research on different Christmas trends, I really enjoyed these 2 color palettes as well for a different kind of Christmas decor. So, if you don't like them, you don't have to use them, but I just wanted to include those as well. So with that said, those are the colors. And for the brushes themselves, we have several different categories. As I often do, I've included some headers. These are not brushes. These are just headers to kind of give you an overview of the type of brush in that section, and a little instruction with each one. Like for the Christmas trees, use short, quick strokes. We have Christmas trees, Festive Greenery, which are like evergreen boughs. We've got decorative trim, which is everything to decorate a tree that's not a bauble. We also have Bauble Toppers, and at the very end, we've got the Bauble Stamps. It's kind of a logical order where you start with the greenery and then you add things after that. The Christmas trees themselves, we have 8 of these. And I did cut back quite a bit on the ones that I had created, and so these represent the best ones. And I'm just going to select some greens and show you how these work. They are all tapered at the top, and if you go fast, you get more of a taper. And if you press at the bottom, you get a bigger size at the bottom. So I'll just show you how we do that. Start with pressure and then flick upwards. So that's a nice little fat one. We can make a long one as well. And there's some variation in the colors and the saturation of that. And all of them work pretty similarly. And these are all based on real greenery that I have photographed, or in some cases, they're based on my own Christmas decorations, which would be fake greenery. They're all quite imperfect. And if you don't like what comes out, you can just keep trying because it's different every time, just to make it look more natural. And just moving on down through the Christmas trees. So those are the Christmas trees. So these are based on some of the same photos as these, but they have a different configuration. They are more about continuous strokes, and these can be used for wreaths, for instance, if you want to make a wreath. But you can also just do like branches, and I've used these a lot on the cover image as well. So at the end here, we've got some mistletoe and some holly. And these are a bit special because they include berries. Because you can't really specify in Procreate that you want the berries to be one color and the leaves to be a different color, I've included the berry as a separate stamp that you can add in a new layer on top of this. So I'll just show you real quick what the mistletoe looks like. It does have some built-in berries, which are fine if you're on a white background. But then you'll see if you turn off the background, it's a bit see-through. So you can use the berry stamp with an off-white color to put some white berries on this, but I'll just go ahead and show you with the holly since that is a bit easier to see. So here is some holly, and on top of this, we're gonna add some red berries. So the way that you do that is using this berry stamp. You just need to use a separate layer as it says here. So we add a new layer, pick a red color, and add the berries in that layer. So I'm just gonna put a couple, and you see that if you overlap them, you get a bit of a problem. So I'll show you how to overlap them without that in a moment here. I'm just gonna lay down a couple of berries in a couple different spots here. So if you want to overlap some berries so that you have a nice cluster, you can just add a new layer and then put more berries on top like that. And you can see that they, like the Bauble stamps, they are solid. Okay, so moving on to the decorative trim. I just went ahead and put a Christmas tree here so that I can show you the trim on top of the tree. I've got a new layer above the tree. So we've got 4 different kinds of tinsel. I'm just going to choose a gold color and show you what tinsel number 1 looks like. So you can kind of just add it as layers on this tree, just like you would do in real life, but this is much easier, of course. And yeah, and we've also got a multicolored version, and for the multicolored versions of both of these, I would recommend using a brighter color, so probably not metallic. So if we choose a red that is pretty saturated, then we're going to come out with a wider variety of color. So I'll just show you what that looks like. That's just kind of a more multicolored tinsel version. And we also have a slightly more dense version of the tinsel here. And let's just look at that in a silver. That's just kind of more of a hairy version. And then we have that one in multicolored as well. This is also less multicolored than the other one. So it's still a bit more based on the color you choose. So if we choose this blue, for instance, we're going to get quite a lot of blue and purple in here. And I just wanted you to have 2 different options of multicolored tinsel. One that is very, very multicolored, and then one that is more based on the color that has been chosen. So moving on from the tinsel, we've got sparkly thread. This is mainly for using as like the string on the baubles, but I'll just do a quick demo of what these look like in gold. It's just sparkly thread, and you can do a fat version or a skinny version. And number 2 is probably my favorite, and it's the same kind of concept, just a sparkly thread. And it's a bit thinner than the other one. And you can use these, I'll show you in a moment, but you can use them as like to hang things from the tree like that. And then we've got some beaded thread, which is similar, but it looks like a small string of beads. We've also got lights, of course. The ones that don't say multicolored are just a single color. And usually I would just choose one of the metallic colors for that, depending on if you want it to be warm or cold light. And we've got dense and sparse, which just means these are closer together, these are further apart. So I'm working with the dense version. You can kind of trace along the leaves of the tree like you would in real life. It's much less of a pain than it would be in real life. This takes forever, doesn't it? But you can also use it to dot lights on there like this. And you can see these show up pretty well on the dark background. That's by design. It's very important to have them in a separate layer. So I will just show you the multicolored lights as well. With these ones, again, you probably want to choose a fairly saturated color in order to get more colors out of it. And you can also dot these around. And here at the end, we've also got a string of beads, which is similar to the beaded thread, but it's more like if you were adding beads as a decoration on here. You probably want to put that in a separate layer as well. So this is just kind of like another way to trim the tree. So now moving on to the main event, which is the Bauble Stamps. And we have a large variety of different stamps, and these are all solid. Many of them are metallic. Many of them are organic. We have some twine and velvet and paper as well. And I'm just going to show you most of these in gold, but you can choose any color that you want. And so I'm just going to stamp it on there. And obviously, you know, this is too big for this picture. This is 2000 by 3000. But I made them big on purpose so that you can use them for very large artwork if you want to. But I'm just going to show you how it looks on the tree. For instance, you can do something like that. So I'll just show you some more. And I'll show you them big, and I'll also show you what they look like on the tree. We've got smooth and matte as one option. We've got another smooth and matte with a just slightly different lighting configuration on it. We've also got a nice shiny one, which is one of my personal favorites. I'll just show you in a couple of colors because this one looks good in lots of colors. And I'm just really happy with how it is solid and still manages to be shiny. But I'll just go ahead and put some of these around, and you can see them in different colors as well. We've also got this textured glossy metallic. Looks really good in gold as well. I'm just kind of adding new layers every now and then. If I'm not planning on moving them, I'll just put more than one in a layer sometimes. But generally, you probably want to put them in separate layers if you want to move them and adjust them after you've stamped them on. Called these ones spotty metallic. I think they look particularly good in color, actually. Like red and green. So I'm going to put some of those on here. That one is another fun one. Then we've got our glossy stripes. We've got both vertical and horizontal. Just check a couple of those on there. And you'll notice that the stamps do tilt with the pen, like so. And this is with Apple Pencil only that it has this feature. We've also got some matte stripes. So those other ones were glossy, and we've got matte as well. I'll give you that in red. Then we've got this fun geometric one that's kind of like stripes, kind of like geometry. Textured geometric, that one looks really good in metallic. I'm just gonna do that one in some fun colors as well. Then we've got the disco balls, and this was something that I generally have not used a lot of these in my own decorations, but I was sort of uncovering that this is a massive trend in Christmas right now, and probably last year as well. And I had a lot of fun actually sourcing these, and I probably will start decorating with them now because it's really fun, and it's very Christmas, isn't it, with kind of a fun retro twist on it. So we have two different disco balls. We've got number 1, number 2, and they're just two different kinds. And these are sourced from real photos. So I'm just going to put a couple of those on our tree as well. So moving on, these are getting into the much more specific kind of designs. So at the top, we have the basic, the glitter, the fine glitter, the chunky glitter, the smooth matte metallic, the smooth shiny metallic. Whereas towards the bottom, we're getting a bit more funky with some of these designs. So we've got some glitter designs. And there's another one there. We've also got this glitter egg design. Also got some more egg designs here, some stripes. And then this glossy pine cone. It looks really good in blue. So we're moving more into the kind of elongated type shapes. We've also got these glossy ones. I'll just show you big at first how it looks. Looks like that. Or the tilt matters a bit. And we just have two different versions of the glossy with some different types of reflections on them. And we also have a matte version of that. And if you're struggling to get them straight up and down, you can always put them in a separate layer and then use the move tool to rotate after the fact. So we've got a folded paper ball, and this one generally looks good in this color or something similar, just sort of an off-white color. And we've also got glittery paper with sort of a geometric fold pattern. We've got a twine ball and velvet. These were a bit hard to photograph, but I'm really pleased with how they came out. And we have some different versions. We've got just a regular ball, also got this geometric, and we've got another geometric there. Then we have also got some marble. And finally, we have a star, which is basically to go on top. So you can put it anywhere, of course, but traditionally it would go on top. And I've put that in a separate layer, so I'm just going to manipulate that a bit to make it fit. Right, and that leaves us with the Bauble Toppers. So these are also stamps, just like the baubles themselves, and they probably look best in metallic colors, and they are basically just what goes on top. So with these, you will probably want to put them in a new layer because you'll probably want to manipulate them a little bit. So I'm just going to add something to the top of this one to show you what I would use it for. Something like that. Then I would probably go and get some string, maybe sparkly thread number 2, and sort of make a line from there to one of these branches. If you want to have a straight line with the string, you can just draw the line hold, so it says line created, and then tap the screen, and it will actually put it in a straight up and down angle. Now, obviously this is quite a lot. If I'm going to put a topper on every single one of these, that's going to take a long time, and I'm probably not going to do that. What you can also do is just add string if you prefer. So the toppers are there if you want to, if you're doing very detailed work, they're there. If you don't want to do a bauble topper for everything, you can also just use the string. So I'm just going to choose sparkly thread number 2 and show you what I mean by that. So I would just like either make a single line and hold it like that, or you can do like a fun little wonky loop like that. And I would probably like make it kind of look like it's going around this branch here, and then just kind of thread it through, and so that it looks like it's going through the branch. So just to show you that again, with the disco ball here, going up, choosing a branch that we're going around, and then coming around the other side, so leaving a bit of space there. So I will do a tutorial in the coming weeks of a bit more detail on how to do a Christmas tree. This was a bit of a quick version. But today I just wanted to show you the different brushes themselves and just do a little demo of how they work and how to use them. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, do please let me know. You can email me at hello@elenajensen.com anytime. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. I hope that you enjoy the brushes, and I hope that you really enjoy your holiday season this year and all the years to come. And I will see you next time.